My name is Goldman. I'm the director and founder of Goldman & Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues here in Michigan. And today we're continuing our video series designed to educate and inform the public, so please subscribe to our channel. Today I want to talk about the divorce agreement. What should one seek in their divorce agreement? It's a rather sophisticated question because in order to know what you are supposed to get in the divorce, you probably need to know what are the categories of items that are addressed in a judgment of divorce. How can you know it's fair if you don't even know whether or not everything's in there that's supposed to be in there? So for example, you may think it's fair if we have a house and I get 50% of it, you get 50% of it. But if you didn't consider the pension, if you didn't consider how do we allocate debt, then the judgment doesn't speak to it. Sure, you may have the house, but you may be saddled with 100% of the debt. Why? Because it happens to all be in your name. So you got half of the house, 100% of the debt. How well did you do? Not very. This is, by the way, the reason why people should not do this on their own. Most people who aren't lawyers aren't going to know what are the items that we should be discussing in our divorce. They may know a couple of them. They may know we have to figure out what's going on with the kids. They may have heard of child support. They may not know how to calculate it, but they may have heard of it. They may know that big ticket matter has to be resolved, but they may not know, for example, that 401ks have to be dealt with. Debts have to be dealt with. COBRA issues, the continuity of health insurance has to be dealt with. They may not know about that. They may not know about tax liabilities and whether or not delayed income tax or penalty, how should that be split? They may not know this. So it's not only a question of custody, parenting time, child support, getting the divorce itself, it's also a question of dividing up all the assets, including all sorts of things, not just real estate. It could include 401ks, IRAs, pension funds, money in the bank, savings accounts, checking accounts, thrift savings plans through work. It may include all these kinds of things that people might not off the top of their head think about. There may be also heirloom things that you want to consider, collections of a different variety. There may be a very, very expensive coin collection that the husband's been collecting the whole time during the marriage, spending marital assets, by the way, to acquire those coins. And you would think, well, that's his hobby, let him have that. Without realizing that's $100,000. And you're just giving it away. You haven't even thought about it. Now, you can say to your lawyer, I have thought about it, let him have it. Great. But there's a way to do it. If you're letting him have it, you tell him, we're letting you have this. However, therefore, we want more of this. Therefore, we want this item because we're being nice to you, so give us what we want. That kind of thing. In other words, there's a way to deal with it. But the best way to deal with it is to figure out what all the things are that we have to discuss that have value, and then decide how to equitably divide it. Nowadays, there's all sorts of things that people haven't considered. For example, I see a lot of discussion regarding frequent flyer miles. The ability to travel for free is definitely something that's worth a lot. That has to be divided in a divorce. Credits at the casino, the little card you stick in the machine gives you credits, that's something that might have to be divided. Perhaps Hilton Honors points on your American Express card, which allow you to stay at places for free. These are all assets. And if you don't know to ask the question, then of course you don't divide it equally. You think you got away with something, you think you got a good deal, maybe you did and maybe you didn't. So it's very important to know these things, so you should know what to look for when you're making that judgment of divorce agreement and you're putting it together. If you have any questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.